Money FM 89.3, best of breakfast. Mind your business, only on Money FM 89.3.
Yes, it is that time for Mind Your Business with me, Audrey Seek. Now, here in Singapore, we've got plenty to be proud of, right? The world's best airport, one of the safest cities, and of course, our very intense education system. And with that comes the not so little matter of tuition. Let's be honest, tuition has practically become a way of life here. But with all that money going into lessons each month, are parents actually getting what they're paying for? Or are we being swayed by clever marketing, polished testimonials, and maybe even a little fear? Just recently, Education Minister Chan Chun Sing called out some tutoring centers for shady practices like cherry-picking high-performing students and claiming all the credit or using fear to get parents to sign up. So today we're diving into the billion-dollar world of private tuition and asking, how do you find the right tutor without getting caught up in all of the hype? Joining us to unpack all this is someone who's created a platform to help parents do just that. So let's welcome Gary Ong, founder of Genius Mind Home Tuition. Good morning, Gary.
Hi, good morning.
Good
Thanks
morning.
for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Great to have you. So let's start with a staggering number, Gary. Singapore households spent $1.8 billion on tuition last year, up from $1.4 billion in 2018. What do you make of this? How has the tutoring scene changed over the years?
All right, so first, I think Singapore's tutoring industry is split into two main spheres. So first being the tuition centers, and secondly, home tuition. So as compared to, say, a decade or two ago, I think parents relied on flyers, word of mouth, and I think the market has matured quite a lot. Today, parents are savvier, competition is fierce, and demand remains steady and increasing, like you just mentioned. And tutoring has also evolved into a respected career path. We're seeing much more professionals from ex-school teachers, career changers that are joining the industry. So I think the rise of online platforms and flexible work arrangement has made tutoring an appealing choice for those seeking meaningful and independent work. So the evolution, I believe, reflects a shift from casual arrangements to right now a professional industry.
Yeah, so we have so much to choose from, right? So many options out there nowadays, and parents are trying to find the right fit for their kids. What are the most common struggles we face as parents, and what do we often get wrong?
All right, so the common struggles, I would say, is to look for someone that has got proven track record, not just promises. All right, parents are usually looking for evidence that the tutor can leave grades and confidence. So the struggles are, yeah, you're right, overwhelming choices. There's so many tuition centers and agencies right now. It's really hard to know who's truly qualified. And sometimes parents, they do not really know what they want. So first off, they have to decide whether is it a tuition center or is it to engage a private home tutor. And there are then the different types of tutors, like part-time tutors, full-time, ex-school teachers. And they have to decide the frequency, how many times a week, duration, how many hours for each lesson, and face uncertainties like what if the tutor is not good, what if my child do not improve, and such.
Yeah, so we have so much to think about as parents. So let's talk about Genius Mind now. You've been described as the Tinder of tuition. I love that. So tell us how your platform works, how you're offering kind of like a more personalized and ethical approach to tutor matching.
All right, so here at Genius Mind, we focus on trust, transparency, and also high service standards. So first off, we do not do the unethical advertisements, markups, and we focus a lot on transparency, whereby our matching service is actually 100% free for parents. So we charge nothing to sign up. There's no hidden fees. And we talk about flexibility as well. Clients can choose to actually terminate or request for a change of tutor at any point of time with no obligations. And of course, we do follow-ups just to make sure that there's positive improvements and, if the tutor and students' chemistry fits.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, so walk us through this user journey. What can a parent expect from the moment, let's say, I start using Genius Mind to getting matched with a tutor? Can you walk us through how this works?
Yep, sure. So it's just in 3 easy steps. First, by telling us your needs. All right. So, for example, your child's level, subjects, goals, and even learning habits, all right, be it good or bad habits. And the second step will be then, within about 24 hours, we will send back several carefully chosen tutor profiles for our clients to consider. And finally, it will be selecting and schedule part. So usually the family will review together with the husband, with the wife, with the child, and they'll pick the tutor they like best, and we will help to schedule the first lesson. After that, even if needed, we can even arrange a Zoom interview with the tutor beforehand. All right. And then thereafter, we will have ongoing support. We will still stay in touch to make sure that everything is working out. And if there's any changes required, we will step in to adjust.
All right. What levels and subjects do you currently support on the Genius Mind platform, Gary?
All right. We cover essentially everything in Singapore's educational landscape. So from preschool to primary, secondary level to JC and even university. We also do provide for adults level. So for example, an adult learner picking up a new language.
Okay, so not just for the kids now, tutoring, which
That's
of course, yes, now we are all about upskilling and reskilling. I want to ask about how you guys vet your tutors. That really is key. How do you onboard and assess them, and what makes a tutor a truly great match?
Okay, so for these tutors that are keen to join us, we would direct them to a Telegram channel where they can receive and apply for our tuition assignments. So we verify their credentials and we keep an extensive record of our tutors. That will be including their certificates and most importantly, our clients' feedback, again, be it good or bad, because then this allows us to identify and recommend good tutors with proven track records to our clients. And regarding good match, I think it's more than just the tutor's profile, more than the qualifications and the years of experience. I think it is more about chemistry and fit. So in essence, a great match means the tutor's strength, teaching style, and even personality clicks with the student's need.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to talk about affordability as well, Gary. That's such a huge concern for many parents here in Singapore. How do you make sure your services stay accessible even for those possibly on a tighter budget?
All right. So we maintain a large database of tutors and we fixed our commission to just 2 weeks worth of lessons from the tutors. So having a large database of tutors, currently we have more than 10,000.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that means we can have more competitive rates because, for example, depending on location sometimes, if some tutors are willing to accept lower rates, if they're just staying, say, a few blocks away or a few bus stops away, and our commission is fixed at just 2 weeks worth of lessons. So I believe this will encourage our tutors to keep their rates lower as well.
Okay, so you talked about commission there. So we want to talk business a little bit. How does Genius Mind make money? Is it through these commissions or subscription or something else?
All right, so at Genius Mind, we keep our revenue model very straightforward. Our matching services are completely free, like I mentioned, and clients are only required to pay for the lessons that have been arranged and conducted. So the first 2 weeks of lesson fees will be allocated to Genius Mind as our commission, and this is deducted from the tutor's fees.
Okay. So, Gary, you've also pointed out that, despite all of the flashy ads we've been seeing, many parents still turn to word of mouth or personal recommendations, which I'm sure is also the case. What does that tell us about what parents are actually looking for in a tutor? Do we expect a one-size-fits-all? Like if it works for my friend's kid, it will work for my kid? Or do you find that people are looking for a more tailored kind of approach nowadays?
Word of mouth is still, there's an aura of authenticity that, advertisements, flashy ads cannot match. I think nowadays, people are looking for that because it's not just pulling up the grades. Sometimes it is a lot on building confidence. Sometimes, there are a lot more different needs right now in the market.
Yeah. So as we look ahead, Gary, what advice would you give parents, trying to navigate such a complex landscape of all of these options and education marketing? What should be the number one thing that they should be prioritizing?
Okay, so I think they should check for independent reviews. I think that's important. And when communicating with, say, the tuition centers or agencies, try to be as detailed as possible when it comes to the child's learning habits, learning style, what works, what doesn't. And you have to understand that the chemistry between the tutor and student plays a huge part, aside from their qualifications, like I mentioned earlier. And at Genius Mind, we believe that a good tutor is also a role model who sparks interest in learning, encourage creativity, and help build confidence.
Yeah, we spend so much time with our tutors growing up, so it's important to know that there's chemistry there. Can you tell us, before we let you go, Gary, what's next for Genius Mind?
All right, so what's next for Genius Mind? We will be continuing to expand our reach and tutor pool, and we'll keep innovating with new technologies so that we can enhance our service quality.
All right. Well, we talked about how platforms like Genius Mind are shifting the focus back to what really matters, which is finding the right educational fit for every child. Thank you so much, Gary, for joining us this morning. This was a great conversation. And as a parent myself, this was very enlightening. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Gary Ong, founder of Genius Mind Home Tuition. Stay with us on The Breakfast Show on Money FM 89.3.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.